Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo of the new Dior Forever foundation. So they released two of this Forever range. It confuses me. One is called Forever, which is this one, and then there's another one which is called Forever Skin Glow. This one is the matte version. I don't know why they didn't just call it Forever Matte, because then that would differentiate from the Forever Skin Glow, which is obviously like a more dewy foundation. I generally tend to go for more matte foundations over dewy ones. I mean, I haven't tried that one. I may do in the future because I would just like to see what its finish is actually like despite the name. Now, this one comes in about 36 shades, which is great. I mean, my shade is in 3W, which is described from their website, by the way, as a light to medium skin with warm yellow undertones. I have in the past tried 4W and it was just way too orange on my skin tone. I could probably get away with wearing that if I had quite an intense tan. I bought it in the little skin body, whatever it was called, last summer. I never really reviewed it because of that, even though the foundation itself was actually excellent. So I may again look into getting that one in the future as well. So this one retails at £37 and it is 30ml, which is the standard amount of most foundations. And as I was saying, in terms of the color range, is actually pretty good, considering mine is more towards the lighter end and mine is number 15 out of 36, so that means that I'm not even past half. So the deep tones will hopefully go quite far for quite a lot of people. One thing I'm gonna have to say straight off is ever since I've bought it, I've not been able to put it down. I am in love with this foundation. In love. It is up there now with my Holy Grail status foundations. I'm in love with it. The bottle itself, it comes in a glass bottle. It's quite weighty, and then there is a nice pump on the front as well. Comes in a frosted glass, but it does help because you can see the color of your foundation. And then on the back it just says 3W. And the good thing about it is that each undertone has been laid out. So for example, I'm in the range 3, so there is 3N neutral, 3W me, which is warm, 3CR cool rosy, 3WP warm peach, 3WO warm olive. So all the corresponding letters are a description of what the undertone is for you guys. I mean, I think some of them have definitely got more than others. For example, 5 just has 5N and 5W. And then 6 has got a bit more, 7 has got 2, then there's 8, and then there's 9. So it kind of varies, and as always, I would definitely say fair and medium skin tones tend to get a wider range of shades, which I do think is a little bit unfair. Because if you're deep, you've just got one shade. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read what they have written on the box rather than on the website, because on the website they haven't actually written as much as they have done here. So it says, Dior Forever reinvents long-wearing high perfection, 24 hours of seduction with a sensational skin-caring comfort at heart. Okay. Long wear obsession. A perfect complexion for 24 hours, non-stop with flawless coverage. The skin's texture appears refined and pores tightened with a velvety matte finish without a mask-like effect. Beautifying pigments adjust to skin's tone for a sensually enhanced complexion with an imperceptible makeup look and feel. This voluptuous formula, which includes a weightless, concentrated moisturizing agent, prevents drying and improves complexion quality day after day. So these are what their claims tend to be. I mean, they've just thrown in a load of big words. I mean, who describes a foundation as a voluptuous formula? Is it a woman's body? You know what? Whatever they say, I will give you my 2 cents. Because like I said, I have worn it pretty much every day since I've bought it, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it's an amazing, amazing foundation, and I think quite a lot of you out there will absolutely love it. Now, all I've done is I've written my own notes in my phone, and what I've written is it gives a natural matte finish completely. My skin looks flawless matte, but it doesn't look cakey matte, it doesn't look mask-like matte, it just looks natural. It looks like my skin, but a lot better, but with a more naturally matte finish. It's a medium to full buildable coverage foundation. They have written on here that it gives flawless coverage. Now, in makeup speak, flawless coverage generally tends to mean full coverage, and it is not. It's got a soft floral scent. It's not too overpowering. It's not like Huda Beauty's like, ugh. Nah, it's okay. They've like added a little bit of a Dior smell to it. Velvety soft feel. Doesn't need to be set, but I do for longevity, and that's what I've written. Because what I did was I applied this to my face, and then I got distracted by something, and I had to go help my mum with something, and then I came back like 45 minutes later and I touched my face and I was like, it's dried and it's matte and it feels great. It doesn't actually need to be set at all. So I would definitely say it's down to personal preference. I've got normal to combination skin, so I tend to get oily around my T-zone. However, wearing this kept me matte literally throughout the day. I have worn this for 12 to 14 hours. I know they write their usual 24-hour claim, but come on guys, nobody wears makeup for 24 hours. It did not emphasize any of my textured skin. It sits beautifully on the face. It feels velvety soft. It looks gorgeous. It makes me look healthy. It's just an all-round amazing foundation. It does not oxidize at all. It does not settle into any fine lines if you've got any. It did not cling to any dry patches that I had. Considering it's a matte foundation as well, I did not find that it did that. I obviously cannot speak on behalf of people who've got really oily skin or people who've got really dry skin. I'm talking on behalf of myself and my normal to combination skin. And I can definitely tend to branch out more towards the oilier side. And that's why I tend to say normal to combo skin rather than just normal skin. It says the skin's texture appears refined and pores tightened. Now that is obviously something that they've said as it's got a skin caring kind of foundation. So that is something that will probably happen over time. And this is definitely something I'm going to repurchase. I'm absolutely in love with it. I give this a 10 out of 10. It's great. It does transfer. However, they did not mention any transferable claims. So that's the reason why it gets a 10 rather than a 9. Obviously, the foundation shade range needs a little bit of work. I think they should have made it 40 shades and added a few deeper shades onto the end of that 36. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. It feels nice and light. It's got a beautiful kind of semi-liquidy sort of texture, so that makes it easy to blend it into the skin. There's no patchiness. You don't have to work too hard with this to get full beautiful looking coverage. Again, like I said earlier, it is a medium to full buildable coverage foundation. As you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, I tend to apply generally one layer over my face and then I just concentrate a little bit more on my cheek areas where I've got a bit more pigmentation, redness and scarring. But on the rest of my face, one layer is definitely enough. It doesn't make me look aged. It doesn't make me look cakey. It just makes me look amazing forever. So here is what the bottle looks like up close. Nice, sophisticated, typical of Dior looking foundations. And then there is the nice easy pump to use on the top. Alright, before I start the demo, the first thing I would suggest is using a primer. I would always suggest using a primer depending on what your skin type is like. Now, just for the purposes of the video, I'm not using a matte primer. I generally tend to use matte primers quite a lot just because I prefer to look matte rather than oily. And even though I've got combination skin, I know that at some point during the day, my skin will start to get oily in my T-zone areas, and that's why I tend to use a mattifying primer. But I'm going to be using today this one by Makeup Revolution called the Pore Blur. It's in the name really. And no matter what kind of primer I use, this still stays matte on the face, and that's the whole reason for me using this one today. And then I am just going to blend this all over my face, making sure that I get all areas evenly. Alright, so now you can see that my face looks kind of a little bit red. And this primer is actually really nice and soft. I've got a few spots on my face. What's going on? I've been touching my face too much. Okay, now the foundation itself, give it a little shake, 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 shake. And the brush I'm going to be using is this one. It's a bit stained, so it is clean. And that is the Real Techniques buffing brush. I generally tend to prefer kind of loose-ish buffing brushes like this because the product is quite liquidy, like kind of mid consistency. So something like this makes it easy to blend all over the place. If you use something more dense, I find dense brushes tend to work a lot better for more thick foundations or stick foundations, but liquidy ones and more mid consistency ones work well with these kind of brush. And I've just squirted about 2 pumps onto this brush, so I'm just going to dot it all over my face before I start to blend it in. And now I'm just going to blend it all in. Okay, so that's one layer, and I would actually say it was a fairly light layer as well. As you can see, the colour works very nicely on me. It's not too dark, it's not too light. It's actually perfect and blends in nicely, even though I may look slightly ghastly at the moment. That's normally what tends to happen when you first apply that first hit of foundation before it gets the chance to actually settle onto your skin and use the warmth from your skin so that it can settle a lot better. I apologise if you can hear any kind of dodge music. It's sunny in London today, so that means all the neighbours are out playing their rubbish music. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to apply a tiny bit more to each side. just to get that extra bit of coverage that you guys know that I like to have. Already it started to dry, which is great. You still don't need to work too fast because it moves around the face really easily. And one more here. Yeah, it has got that standard Dior scent, that florally kind of smell. It's not too bad, but I personally prefer unscented everything. And there we go. Beautiful. But can you see, you can still see my beauty spot there. So for them to claim that this is flawless coverage, it really isn't. It's definitely medium to buildable. If I was to now apply maybe another 2 layers, that would make it full coverage. But I'm quite happy with this level of coverage actually, because I actually find sometimes full coverage can be a little bit too unnatural. At least this kind of way, it still kind of shows a little bit of your natural skin underneath. So you still look nice and even, but you don't look overly done. And that's basically it. Now it feels slightly tacky, but my forehead has already dried. So it dries quite quickly and it dries to a really soft finish. It doesn't feel sticky or heavy or anything like that. And what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to set my face with my Peach Perfect mattifying loose setting powder from Too Faced, which you guys know that I love and I use to set all my foundations with. So I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup and I will be back to finish off the review. Okay, I'm back. The rest of my makeup is done. For reference, on my lips I'm wearing Anastasia Beverly Hills Current liquid lipstick because it matches my dress, obvs. But yes, oh, feels beautiful, feels soft. My face feels, I mean, I don't like to personally touch my face like I'm just doing right now, but just to be dramatic for the sake of the video. It feels so lovely and soft. It feels smooth. It doesn't feel tacky. It doesn't feel sticky. As you can see, once all my makeup has been done, it looks perfect. The color is perfect. For reference, in MAC, I'm an NC40. I'm actually at my pale list right now because obviously we've gone through winter. But yeah, so I'm still at my pale list of the pale at the moment. So I would definitely say that this is my winter shade. I love how this sits on the face. I love that it makes me look flawless. It makes me look naturally flawless as well. It doesn't look overdone. It doesn't sit with any lines of my face. It doesn't oxidize. It just looks perfect. And I absolutely love this. One of the reasons why I love this as well is even after hour 12 and not using a mattifying primer per se, it still looked matte. I still looked natural. It didn't start to kind of pill up and grease up in places as well. It was only when it got to about hour 18, 19, and by that point I was ready for bed anyway, a slight amount of shine was starting to show, but at that point I didn't care because I was going to bed anyway. But this one really does live up to its claim of being a matte foundation, and that's one of the reasons why I love it so much. I bought mine from Debenhams. I had £5 on my Debenhams beauty card, so I got £5 off. Find a good deal if you can and then take it from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review and demo. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are if you have tried it or if you're considering trying it. If you've tried the Skin Glow one, let me know below what your thoughts are, because I am considering getting it, but I really don't like to get dewy foundations that basically border on greasy after 1 hour. I like ones that maintain that fresh, healthy kind of glow, but without looking shiny, if that makes sense. Other than that, I hope you guys are amazing and you're great and you are having a wonderful spring so far, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!